So the work we're doing is we're working to connect ourselves up with the divine in the highest fashion we can. Now, there's two levels. On one level, the way we live our lives, which I'll be talking about more on Sunday, and I've been talking about really the last few Sundays, affects where we can reach. So how we walk in the world with other people has a profound effect on how far we can reach into the divine. So that's one connection between the two. But the second thing is that we're trying to make ourselves a vehicle to bring the divine into the world. And when there's different ways of trying to bring the divine in the world. People can do it in that way of connecting and being an energy pathway that God works through. And people can do an act of loving kindness and compassion to another person, and in that they become an emulation of the divine, who is infinite compassion, and an instrument of bringing that compassion into the world. Because compassion opens their heart, and at that heart, when their heart opens, God's energy love can come in, and then it flows from you. So the two aren't separate. They're different ways of arriving at a similar goal. But also, they come together. The more you're connected to God, the more you can see the divine in other people. If you see the divine in other people and realize that you and they are one because you've touched that place of oneness, then you'll naturally want to help them in every way you can because they're you. And therefore, your act of loving kindness doesn't come out of some altruistic idea or thinking I'm going to be a wonderful person, but from a natural, profound identity in love, because you know that they are part of you and you are part of them. And what happens to them happens to you. What happens to you happens to them. And that then transforms that act of loving kindness into an act of divine worship. And when that happens, it becomes filled with God's light.